Leprosy. Yeah. Gaza. Hi. Yeah, people, just a quick review there for drop. A long time I want to touch the issue on the World Cup. Well, not necessarily still no, but true, we love and adore football from ever since we know ourselves from we were born, right? I was an exceptionally well-rounded football player, um, mostly a striker, but I had stopped enjoying participating, in the sport of football since the year 2010, the same year Dodos got extradited. 2010, the last year before Vybz Kartel got prison. That was a definite, um, that was a landmark sort of time. You know what I mean? Where we had the recession. It was a marked time. 2009, 2010 was a marked time that had taught us to prepare for what is expected to come, which was more ridiculous news and evil atrocities and now we see Andrew Holness making Jamaica into one big island, a prisoner island. You know what I mean? By accepting to take criminals from America that Donald Trump rejects, and our prime minister is to bring them here. 25 criminals from America who are non-Jamaican should come here. 25 of them every 2 weeks. Okay? We don't know for how long, but we heard a figure from a reliable source, which is the Jamaica Gleaner company, right? Which is um, a news company, newspaper company, right? Yeah. The Gleaner. So, there's no telling when they'll stop. And that's a large figure to have 10,000 criminals that are non-Jamaican on your island, on a small island. You know what I mean? And, we always want to bring the World Cup with the joy and all that is going on. But I mean, with what our prime minister is doing and all these political issues, I don't want to get too caught up with the World Cup, which is why I haven't got around to bringing and sharing these excited news of the World Cup. Because a lot of things been going on in the World Cup as well as outside of the World Cup, here in Jamaica especially, and all around the world. And we try to bring as much as we can to you with the limited time we have. Because we have 9 to 5 job, we work. You know what I mean? Crazy hours, 12 hours a week. So when you see me, I make how much content. From the other day, me have to slow up because, me have the Vybz Kartel album I deal with. And, a lot of people are not being honest about the album because it is actually the best body of work we had in decades, probably a century. You know what I mean? So hopefully, we get to see the result from Vybz Kartel God and Time album. Make sure to stream it. You won't be disappointed. Unless you're a hater, of course, and have no sense, or you have no sense or taste for music. You know what I mean? So what we're highlighting now is the remarkable game that had went down yesterday, right, with Ghana and Panama. And I'm so proud of my Africans. Shout out to the Panamanians, because we and the Panamanians and us Jamaicans are family, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're one big family, right? Living in harmony. Yes. Vybz Kartel is want to see Vybz Kartel perform for the Panamanian people. You know what I mean? For now, we're going to take a look at what went down with this game, as well as for some other reports about the FIFA World Cup that is going on. And all the team have played now. Ever since Ghana and Panama had played yesterday. Okay, so today is the 18th, Thursday of June. Okay, today is the 18th of June, right? And it's Thursday. So Ghana and Panama had played on Wednesday, depending on which part of the world you're at. Hopefully, it was Wednesday for you, wherever you are, when Ghana and Panama had played. Now, let us see what this post read. Okay? But the post was captioned that Ghana break Panama hearts with 94th minute winner, right? That is how they phrase and term their headline, right? Saying Ghana break Panama hearts with 94 minutes winner, right? So that basically means Ghana scored their winning goal in the 94th minute of the game. That is overtime, guys. Okay, and that is one of the most painful defeat in the game of football, to have your opponent scoring their winning goal in overtime. You know, that is so painful. Shout out to my Africans. Give them a round of applause. And to the Panamanian, right? Shout them out too. I mean, hopefully Panama win their next match or do much better to make it through and advance to the next round. You know what I mean? Likewise for Ghana as well. So we're going to read what they said about this. So it reads that Ghana left it late. Okay? Ghana left it late, but they got done. They got it done, right? With the match deep into stoppage time. Right? What's the name of this guy here? Let me see. I think that's the hot song for the World Cup. You know, every World Cup they have a hot song. Okay, so the goal scorer, what's his name? So Burna Boy had sing that song. What we're just hearing. Okay, so the winning goal. Yeah, Caleb. Okay, the winning goal was made by Caleb, who struck at 94 minutes and 4 seconds to seal a dramatic victory. Victory! From poverty to big dreams and all the dog, them with me. My family, them with me. Woohoo! Yeah, so with the match deep into stoppage time, Caleb struck at 94 minutes and 4 seconds to seal a dramatic victory over and send Ghana's fans into celebration. The goal is now the latest game-winning regulation time goal in Ghana's World Cup history, making it an unforgettable moment for the blacks. Is that what they say? For the blacks? Why would they say that? Tropic Online. I don't understand this. Why would they just say for the blacks? I mean, would we say for the whites when talking about white people? Well, making it an unforgettable moment for the blacks. I don't like that. What is going on here? The Tropic Online may just be exposing the editor of this post here. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these editors are racists, racist, you name it. Okay? So this is the picture of the winning, the goal scorer. This is the goal scorer right here. Okay? And you know how we just read about the celebration of the fans? This is one of the fans here, you know, was very excited. A Rastaman. You know, big up to the Rastaman them. Shout out to the Jamaican and the Ghanaian. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're one. So he's the one who scored the goal here, you know, and his teammates, you know, shout out to them. I'm so glad for the Ghana. You know, God allowed them to win in the last minute. Okay, it's not over for Panama though. There's more slide. Let's check out the other slide, what they got going on about this match. Because everything on this post here is about the match between Ghana and Panama before we move on to anything else. Okay, so FIFA World Cup 2026. There you go. Full time today. Okay. All right. So we got FIFA World Cup 2026. Okay. And this is group stage L. You know what I mean? We have Ghana on the 5 point star. Ghana. This represent the devil head, the goat head of Mendes. Right? This is called a 5 point star. They need to get these stars out of our flags. You know, we need to get these stars. These stars, they're called a 5 point star. They got 5 points, right? And it represents the devil head. Okay? So now you got the 5 points, it's the goat. Okay? It's the goat horn and his ears, the goat horn and his ears and his chin. Okay? So that is what the 5 point star. But what they do is turn it horizontally. Okay? So what they do, instead of having it in the right goat format face here, this is the right format that depict the goat head. But what they do to trick us is to tell us that it represents the star in the sky, and that is a lie. You know what I mean? So what they do is turn the goat head the sideways and put the horn sideways instead of making it like this at the top. All right? And then they put the ears at the top. This is the ears. And then one of the ears down below, and they put the chin at the side. Right? Okay, so we need to get rid of the 5 point stars. Now look, another thing they tricked us about is telling us that this is a heart. Okay? And they said that we should always shoot the arrow through the heart. Right? And this represents Valentine. But they're lying. It's a lie. Because this heart, our heart looks nothing like this. Just as how they lied about the stars in the sky, it looks nothing like this as what they said. Nothing about the star in the sky looks nothing like that. And this, that what they say is a heart, it represents your anus, your anal, your butt, your body. See? So this represents your bottom. This is how you look from behind. When you look at a woman, this is how her ass look, okay? And they wear their thong, and their thong goes like this, right? So it represents your ass, and they said that it's a heart. They're lying, okay? And the arrow through the heart, right? The arrow through the heart represents a man penis, okay? So all of this Cupid shooting arrow through the heart shit signify Valentine Day, gay sex, all these things, Shakespeare and King James. You know what I'm saying? And Jamaica, we need to get the X out of our flag because all of this represents the devil. X, it's not good. Okay? So make sure that your flags are have no stars or goat head like these flags or any X like our Jamaican flag because it represents negative energy, demonic entity, powers. Okay? So Ghana, every one of the country who is involved in the World Cup have played their match or have played a match already. So all of the teams involved in the World Cup have played their matches. And there's so much been going on in the World Cup. A lot of things. Like for one, Brazil had refused to make some talk. We won't get into it, you know, because there's a lot of heroes now. They refuse to stoop to Donald Trump, um, regulations and what the American bring into the football with all their political talks and you know what I mean, restriction. So yeah, 1-0 for Ghana. You know what I'm saying? Let's see the other slides. This is Ghana right in the 94th minute, the very last quarter of the game. You know what I mean? After the last half. Look at this. Their mouth so close. This is the level of joy it brings, you know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying, man. I mean, like, if Jamaicans are going to be so homophobic, or even the Africans, right? Where we're seeing them imprison men and women for being a part of the LGBT. And I mean, if we're going to have a problem with these things, then this shouldn't be okay for a man face to be so close since y'all are so homophobic. You know what I mean? It's okay to be homophobic when we're excited or when I mean, it's okay to not be homophobic when it's the World Cup and we're celebrating and happy, lifting up one another. And the basketball games spank their players on their ass when they score a basket. So all these sports, man, you know, they all have this thing that Jamaican would think is gay. So in order to not be a hypocrite, then don't allow it to be cool in World Cup, but yet still we are here trying to analyze people for, the same thing basically. But it's because the World Cup is not behind the fact of two man's face being placed together. So most of us are hypocrites, man. You know, it doesn't make any sense to be homophobic. Look, shots. Okay, so this is the stats we needed to see. So Ghana took 8 shots. Okay, in all, Ghana took 8 shots. This took 8 shots on. Okay. Oh my goodness, 8 shots. Oh damn it, damn it. Let's do that again. 8 shots. Okay, there we go. And Panama got 11 shots off. Okay, 11 shots off. Okay, so Panama seemed to get the better of all the shots, right? Well, they never really get the better of the shots because in the end it was Ghana, but they actually got more chances to strike at the goal, which was Panama. They had more chances, right? Now, shots on target. How many of the shots were on target from Ghana's 8 shots? Only 3. So 5 of Ghana shots to the goal was off target, right? 3 out of the 8. And Panama, they never did so well, being that they had 3 more shots opportunity, right? Because 11 is 3 more numbers away from 8, okay? And Panama only got 4 shots on target out of the 11, so they never did much better with their chances, okay? Now look at this. This is wild. Panama, this makes Panama more saddened and disappointed in losing that game yesterday because they had 63% possession of the ball, right? Most of the time, it was them who had the ball, Panama. Look at this. Ghana only had possession of the ball 37% of the time out there, but they made a great deal and use of, their time of possession with the ball because of the last minute score that they had got, you know what I mean? Goal that they had got. Now, passes, oh my goodness, look at the passes. Panama leading passes again with 547 passes that was made, right? Panama made 547 passes, while Ghana made 348 passes. So, Panama had nearly 200. Panama had 200. Damn, 201. 201 more times of passes than Ghana. So Panama was really killing Ghana out there, And then look at the accuracy of the passing. You know what I mean? Like Panama out of the 547th time when Panama passes their ball to their teammate, 88% out of the 547 time, it was an accurate pass. So probably like 500 times they had passed the ball perfectly. You know what I mean? It was an accurate pass. Out of the 547, about 500 of those passes were made accurately. Now, for Ghana, out of the 348 passes that they made, 84% was accurately passed to their teammate, which we're talking about probably 310 times, or about 310 times. Ghana had passed their ball perfectly out of the 348 time that they had tried to pass it. Now, look at the foul rate. Look at the foul rate. Panama, they fouled 11 times, right? Look at Ghana. Ghana fouled 9 times, right? Who got yellow card? Hey, this is wonderful. Look at the stats. Ghana got a yellow card, 1. But Panama got 2, and they had more possession of the ball. They took more shots. They had the advantage of the game. They had a better handling of the game, but they had lost, sorry to say. Now, no one had gotten any red card, right? 1 yellow card for Ghana and 2 red card for Panama. And maybe Panama was playing them very rough, because why should Panama get 2 foul? You know what I mean? It should be Ghana hurting the Panamanian, because the Panamanian have the ball a lot. So this can be a case where these Panamanian players never really liked the black guys and they were playing them unfairly, and why God probably made Ghana 1. You know what I mean? Yeah, you spell it any how you want to spell it. 1 as in ONE or OON. That's why Ghana won 1-0. Okay, so offside was made, and we see where Ghana, they were the least experienced, or the less professional at avoiding the offside. You know what I mean? And a lot of players, they haven't really understand the intricacies of offside. You know what I mean? It's one of the most intricate rule of the game, discussing offside and what it is and what causes the ball or the ref to call for an offside play. You know what I mean? It varies, trust me. Okay, so corner is a tie. They both got 2 corners from the entire game. I'm so proud of Ghana. This made me so much more proud of Ghana, because Ghana had the least possession of the ball, the lesser shot they took, but yet still they got more accuracies from their pass. They made more use of the lesser advantages or disadvantage they had. They made use of their disadvantage. You know what I mean? And if you notice that this is like a torso of a man or woman. Here's the rib cage, you know what I mean? And here's the chest area, you know? This is the chest area. So you can put a head on it, you know? Put a head on it. His name is Decade. Decade, man. Yeah. Yeah, so let's move on to the next slide. We ain't got no time to waste. Hey, what's next? Okay, this was a moment captured right after the goal had scored. Look at the disappointment on Panama's face, holding his head down in the ground. They know they fucked up, man. They never really messed up, but I don't know. I never seen the game, but I heard all the commotion here in Jamaica. There was a lot of noise here in Jamaica while they were viewing the match, out in the streets. People in KFC on their phone watching it all over, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry for the loss for Panama, but I congratulate the Ghanaians for winning the victory. From poverty to big dream, and all my dog them with me, my family them with me. Yeah, I mean they also have some very dark complexion players for Panama, which is good. This was a good match, though, I could tell. You know what I mean? But Panama is definitely the better side. I hope you see that. They are the better side, but it's just unfortunate for them that the side who is not so much as good as the Panamanian came out the victor. That's just how life is sometime, you gotta learn from the failure. Look at the excitement after the goal was scored. This guy, oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful capture photo that was taken. You can see the muscles caught flexing. You know what I mean? The muscle caught flexing with all those biceps and triceps. You know what I mean? And look at the hair, his locks. Yo, that's crazy. They got it right at the right moment. Because if they never got it here, then his hair would have dropped back down and it wouldn't be so crazy. Like, yo, this is crazy. Why pink boots though? I like the pink boots. Pink boots are cool. But I would go for yellow studs, you know what I'm saying? Look at his muscle. It's crazy. He's very fit. They deserve to win, you know what I'm saying? But their next match, I hope they get someone easier to play. Or if they struggle in their next game, I hope they really come out on top and manage to find that goal to secure them the win. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think that is it. You know what I'm saying, guys? There's a lot more. I'd have to end it here. I had intended to get more FIFA World Cup news and reports, but let's just make this about Ghana and Panama, okay? And I'll move on to making some more. Let's listen to this song again, you know what I'm saying? Have one of them World Cup song too. Future done one, the rapper. It's awesome. I like it. I Show Speed done one. I Show Speed FIFA song is one of the second best so far I hear. This is the number one FIFA song for this year. But we had better, bigger FIFA song done by other artists across the world in recent years or in the past prior to this World Cup. You know what I mean? Now listen, this song is the number one FIFA song this year that they are promoting. Artist, one of the great artists, you got to know the sound that the FIFA require. And this is what I talk about all these artists that want to go against Vybz Kartel. They're not that inclined to the intricacies about music and sounds and the relation with sounds that attach to even FIFA. They all have a similarity. All of the big songs that the world loved that FIFA had promoted over the years, they all have a similarity when it comes to the sound. And a lot of artists nowadays are not in tune to these sounds, the quality, what they're expecting, what they're looking for. You know what I mean? So shout out to Vybz Kartel. Make sure y'all go stream his album God and Time. It just landed 6 on the Billboard. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's doing well. First week sales came out, which defeated Shaggy's album, Alkaline's album, Mosquito album, all of them dancehall artists who put out album. Vybz Kartel had his first week sale destroy all them first week sales. Okay? So what is on dominoes? I'm out.